the woman taped a note to her stomach. That was her signal to begin the day. First, she sent her husband off. Then she hung a small sign on the door, a secret code that meant she was ready for business. Not long after, the sign disappeared. She sat in front of the mirror, fixing her makeup, preparing to welcome her first client. But when the man walked in, he grabbed her hand and froze. His eyes locked onto the bruises on her arm. Panic rushed through her. She stammered that her sheets were clean, but he wasn't paying attention to that. Instead, he carefully treated her wounds. It was clear this man wasn't here for a transaction. He was curious about her life. So she confessed. Her family was poor, and this job was the only way she could survive. But the man quickly exposed the truth. He told her he had met her husband at the casino. It was her husband who sent him here. Hearing that, tears streamed down her face. Deep down, she knew her husband was capable of such betrayal. That night, he came home from gambling. He begged her for forgiveness, even threatening to take his own life if she didn't help him pay his debts. He swore he would never gamble again. With no choice, she handed him her dowry, hoping he'd finally change. She even showed him her bruises on purpose, praying he would recognize his mistakes. But he turned a blind eye. Her heart shattered. And the next day, he took everything, all of their belongings, and disappeared. Still, she clung to a fragile hope. Maybe he'd come back. Maybe things could return to the way they were. But then the man from before returned. And this time, he carried proof. Her husband had already sold her to the casino. The paper in his hand was a contract of her body and soul. Her last bit of faith collapsed. She snatched the paper and stumbled out, desperate to find her husband. But her foot slipped, and she crashed to the floor. Lying there, she felt completely hollow. The man urged her to stay calm, warning her that losing control would consume her. Terrified, she rushed home. She clawed at the parasitic vines twisting around her body, but they only multiplied, wrapping her in endless agony. She couldn't understand. Why was she the one cursed with this fate? Exhausted, she collapsed. Her eyes drifted toward a whistle her husband once gave her. Memories surfaced. How he once saved her from danger. The little moments they had shared together. Maybe, if not for this curse, she could have lived a happy life with him. But now, she thought, perhaps her death could free him from this burden. So she lay among the flowers, took the knife into her own hands, and ended her life. A single yellow flower bloomed quietly on her chest.